morning, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a 1-year new grad nurse update, so I guess it's no longer new grad nurse, which is kind of crazy. I know this video is like very long overdue. I'm so sorry, but I'm finally getting it together and I'm gonna answer the questions y'all sent me on my Instagram. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, definitely follow me. This is my Instagram handle. It's at Erica Gambarda. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into these questions. The first question is, do you have any tips for a new grad going into mother-baby nursing? So I went immediately into mother-baby nursing, if you don't already watch my videos, and I did not do like another field before, so definitely can relate to this question. But honestly, just go in with an open mind. You're gonna meet a lot of different people and they're gonna have a lot of different opinions, a lot of different preferences, especially in an area like postpartum or labor and delivery or anything like that. People come in with like expectations and a plan based on their previous kids, or based on like what they wish was different from their previous kids, or just based off what they watch on TikTok or the internet. And I feel like people have very high expectations for their whole experience, and so sometimes that can put a lot of pressure on you, or it could hurt your feelings, or just kind of stress you out, which I think is something that I experienced a lot of, because so many people are like videotaping, posting a lot about their whole birth experience, and they get very opinionated. So I'd say go into it with an open mind, be respectful of people's preferences, even if it's not something you necessarily agree with. Ultimately, it is their decision on like what they're doing with their body and also with their baby. So just try to learn how to respectfully approach situations. There are certain situations where you may feel like you need to do more education, and that's fine, but there's a way to go about educating people without offending them. And yeah, just try to be very careful about like the words you use. That's something I was not expecting to experience as a mother-baby nurse, but it hit me pretty quickly once I saw kind of like what goes on the internet and stuff like that. Question number 2 is, how long does it take to gain confidence in your first nursing job? So for me, I'm very much like a fake it till you make it person. I feel like a lot of times when I started out, people asked me how I was so confident, and I really was not confident at all. It's literally just how I choose to present myself, because I feel like it makes patients very uncomfortable when you go in looking not confident. So it's honestly very fake, but it also helps me to become confident by acting confident, and I very much believe in faking it till you make it. So that's something that I very much recommend. But I think true confidence came for me around the like 4-ish month mark, because around our 6-month mark is where we're kind of like a free-for-all. You can float wherever, or whatever they want to do with you, they can do with you. And just before I hit that mark, I was nervous to hit that mark, but I felt very confident in what I was doing for my job, and I was ready to learn more. So I'd say about 4 months for me, but I never really felt like absolutely horrible, unprepared, or anything like that. It just took me a little bit to like adjust to the flow of things and just like the schedule and everything. So going into that is question number 3, how do you combat pre-shift anxiety? So I never had like the worst pre-shift anxiety. The only thing that I feel like really helped my anxiety was switching from day shift to night shift. And it wasn't anything that had to do with the people or the flow of the shift or any roles on the shift itself. It just had to do with like being awake in the morning. Like if I woke up really early, and I am a morning person, but when I would wake up really early for work, I feel like I felt this like rush of like I need to hurry up and eat and go to work or whatever. Whereas at the end of the day, when I'm driving to work for night shift, even though it's the same length and everything, there's a different vibe that goes with going to work at 6 p.m. versus going to work at 6 a.m. Personally, I just feel like that morning rush hits different. I don't know, maybe somebody out there relates to me, doesn't think I'm crazy, but it really made me feel so much better being on night shift. And it might just be because I did night shift in nursing school, but it made like a huge difference. Question number 4, what's one thing you wish you had been better prepared for? Something I wish I'd been better prepared for sure, is like advocating for myself and for my patients. They teach you that you're the patient's advocate, that your role is super important, all the things. But I don't think I ever had to actually advocate for my patients before, just because nursing students don't really do that. So that's something that really frustrated me. and I wish that I had more experience doing that. My nursing school did try to have us do like mock calls, like to call doctors and stuff, but it's not just about calling the doctor. It's also about like advocating for your patient to your charge nurse to make sure that they have like a certain assignment for the next shift, or advocating for your patient to the lab. It's also advocating for your patient to the pharmacy if the pharmacy hasn't sent you a med that you had requested and this medication is now getting late, or the patient is experiencing XYZ symptoms because they don't have this medication yet. Is advocating for your patient to remind pharmacy, and you know everybody in the hospital is super busy, and you know you're just trying to be respectful of everybody's work situation, especially because the hospitals are all drowning, so you know everybody's trying their best, but sometimes you really just have to like push for your patient because you really need something. And I think that was something I was not prepared for, because personally I just feel very understanding of everybody's situation. Like I may not know what's going on, but I'm trying to understand that everybody's stressed out and doing their best. So it's really hard for me to get on the phone and be like, hey, I need you to do this right now for me, because I know that they're probably prioritizing their shift the way they need to, but you also need to advocate for the patient that you're taking care of. So I think that it's all a delicate balance, and I don't know if there's necessarily a perfect right or wrong way to do it, but I feel like that's something that I was not prepared for, and I had to learn to be a little bit more like pushy about things. Question number 5, can you talk about safe harbor in Texas? And yes, I can. Safe harbor, not every state has this. I don't know which states do or don't. I know some of my friends in other states have told me that they don't have it, so I don't really know how other places do it. But basically, calling safe harbor means you feel unsafe in your assignment, and they can't change the assignment. Like you've already asked to see if they can do something about your assignment, you have an unsafe patient ratio or something like that going on where you just feel unsafe as a nurse, and they can't do anything for you. So the next step is to basically call safe harbor if necessary, but this is like kind of one of those things you only do it if you need to. And it is basically saying that you feel unsafe, nobody was able to do anything for you, and nothing that happens is like your fault. Like, so if you're missing a med by like 4 hours because you are absolutely drowning and you have like a million zillion patients that are all critical, then you have to prioritize certain things, and sometimes something less priority isn't getting done on time or whatever, they can't hold that against you. So it's basically just to protect yourself and your license. It doesn't change anything about your assignment. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get a different patient. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get a lighter load. It just means that like your license is safe. You're not gonna be retaliated against by your employer or by the Board of Nursing. But basically any request for safe harbor does get peer reviewed by the Board of Nursing. So you can't just be like, oh, I feel unsafe with like a normal load. They're probably just gonna be like, I mean, that's like literally your job. I don't know. I don't know if they like have denied it or anything, or I don't know what situations they'd like deny you in or anything like that. I do not work for the Board of Nursing. I'm just a nurse. But yeah, so that's basically like kind of what it is. This is not like a professional review of all the things that it entails, because like I said, I don't know all the legal stuff that goes with it. But again, it kind of goes into the advocating for yourself situation and advocating for your patients. This one would be more of like advocating for yourself. So yeah, call safe harbor, I guess, if you feel unsafe. That's all I have to say on that. Question number 6, why have you been posting less often? So I've been posting less often because, well, first off, I did travel in June for vacation, but I also had a lot of stuff just going on in general, some crazy stuff, and I just couldn't post certain things on the internet. So that's why some things are not on the internet. I try to be very real and genuine, so whenever I'm posting a video, it's like truly honest and like how I feel, but there are some things that go beyond just me, so I can't post things like that. And so for those reasons, I don't post. I'd rather just not post than like post a video of me being fake and me pretending that like everything is like perfect and smooth and like smooth sailing. And so that's why I didn't post, but it had nothing to do with work or anything like that. So yeah, anyways, that's why I didn't post, but I'm back and I'm posting as best as I can. All right, quick little commercial break for my oodie review before I get on to question number 7. Okay, quick little commercial break to show you guys today's video partner, which is oodie. I just got my oodie package in the mail, and I think this is about to be my new favorite self-care item, and I think Shamu and Kyle are both gonna try to steal this from me. So I'm gonna do a little unboxing. The crazy thing is I've wanted to work with Oodie before, and so I'm really excited that they reached out to me because I've looked into them before and have wanted to buy one of these. Oh my gosh. First off, it is already so soft. I did pick out the My Little Pony pattern, and I'm really excited about it because y'all know I love unicorns, I love ponies. I used to be a horse girl, fun fact. So thought this one would be the fun one for me, but it is huge. It is this oversized blanket sweater thing. I can't wait to put it on. It has My Little Pony on there for sure. Here we go. I'm gonna try it on. Okay, I'm in the office right now because Kyle had to go in person for work today. But, oh my goodness, this thing is awesome. First off, it has this inner Sherpa layer, and the outside is like that really soft, plush material. And it's got this big pocket. I'm gonna put Shamu in this. Shamu, you're going in this. This is going to be my new favorite self-care wind down outfit. It does go all the way down. I will show you. And just to give you a better idea of the length, I'm 5'4" and it goes down past my knees. So it's very comfortable if you're like sitting on the couch. It would like cover your entire body basically if you're around my size. This pocket though is about to be Shamu's new spot. I already know it. All right, I hope you enjoyed my commercial break. We're moving on to question number 7. How often do you pick up extra shifts and how many shifts do you work per week? So I work 3 shifts a week, 12-hour shifts. Don't pick up as frequently as I used to. I used to pick up at least once a month, at least. Now I haven't picked up in like 2 months, I think. I am gonna be working an extra shift here in about 2 weeks. But yeah, I just don't want to. I feel like the income I was making is stable. Kyle and I are a dual income family couple. So together we both make enough money to make our ends meet and pay our bills, and I just don't have to work extra shifts, which I'm very grateful for. Sometimes I'll do one for some extra money if I am like dedicating that to something. So when I do pick up a shift, I usually will say I'm picking up the shift and all of the money I'm making is going to a down payment on our future home. And like literally all of the money I make, I will put into an account for that. We have like a savings account and an Excel sheet that has like what every single thing in our savings account is for. So like we have emergency money, but we also have like honeymoon money, home payment money, and things like that. So I will literally dedicate my shift to a home down payment or whatever I'm doing. I personally just like the work-life balance of having 3 shifts a week, so I try to do that as much as I can. And I also do this. This is also like work for me. I know it's like more like fun work, I guess, but there's a lot of time that goes into like editing, setting up brand deals, communicating with those people, and I don't do as many brand deals or as many videos sometimes because of like all of the hectic stuff that goes into it. So this is also like another source of income for me, and I'm really grateful for this source of income. It definitely got me through school. It's definitely been a lot less since I've graduated just because I think my engagement's gone down. But I really don't mind because this is really something I prefer to do as a hobby. So sometimes I just post a video. I don't really care how much money I make, or like I don't really plot what's going to be the most popular video or anything like that. I just really like making YouTube videos. Question number 8 is, if you weren't a mother baby nurse, what type of nurse do you think you would be? And I think that's a great question because honestly I have no idea. I knew I wanted to do mother baby nursing and I did it. When I was in nursing school, there were certain times that I would be like, I could see myself doing this. But now that I am a mother baby nurse, I definitely can't. I know in my labor and delivery experience video, I said I could see myself doing that. Absolutely not. I can't stand the flow of labor and delivery shifts. I think some people love that and some people hate that. I could never. For me, I love just sitting in my patient's room and doing education. I love helping with breastfeeding. I love doing all of the little things that go into baby care and just like building my family's confidence. And I think that I get to do a lot more education. They do a lot of education on the labor and delivery side. However, once the baby's born, we do a lot more of the baby stuff that we get to teach them, and I just really like that. So I think it just depends on your personal preference. Some people really like the flow of those shifts, but for me, I just really like being a mother baby nurse. So I really don't know what I would be doing. I think maybe pediatric nursing. That is something I've always considered, but I have no idea. And that kind of goes into the next question. Question number 9 is, do you regret going into mother baby instead of a med-surg position? Definitely not. I could never be a med-surg nurse. I've floated to the adult, we call it the adult side, but we have adults too, but the adult side twice, one time in the ER and then one time on a telemetry unit, and it was not for me. The nurses were so nice and awesome, and I had a good experience, but I'm good. I like where I work. Also, I think it's really silly when someone tells you you're gonna lose your skills. You only need the skills that you need. So you don't need to know everything anymore. You're not in nursing school. Like, drop that attitude. You don't need it. And there's nothing that you can't like learn. Like, if you're a mother baby nurse and you suddenly want to become an ER nurse, then go be one. And like those little skills that you might have forgotten from nursing school, just you'll refresh and you'll learn, and it's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. People act like once you go into a certain specialty, you are like way too specialized to do anything else, and I really disagree with that, because you definitely can. Question number 10 is, do you prefer postpartum side or baby nursing side more, and why? My hospital does not have mother baby. If you asked me this question a year ago, I definitely would have said postpartum, because y'all know in nursing school I was literally obsessed with OB nursing. And I did not like my NICU experience, and I loved pediatrics, but I also didn't. However, now I definitely think I'm a better baby nurse. And I think I prefer baby nursing. I think one thing I like about baby nursing is I feel confident in being able to like comfort babies. Obviously you can't like talk to them and explain procedures to them, but you can always hold them, give them sweeties. You just know how to comfort a baby. Whereas postpartum can be like really heavy, depending on like, some people have lost children in previous pregnancies, and so they have a lot of anxiety going into this one. Honestly, the emotional side of postpartum nursing is really hard for me. I think I get more anxiety with moms, because I kind of talked about this earlier, but people have like certain expectations, and I always feel like I have to deliver their expectations, and I'm just not for everyone. Not everybody is for everyone, and I think that was something I had to like learn how to deal with. And it's something I don't really love about nursing and postpartum. Because like I'm here to do my medical care, I'm like doing what evidence has taught me to do, and I'm educating on what evidence has taught us to do. And some people don't agree with evidence, or they don't like you, or they don't like your age, or they don't like whatever they can figure out that they don't like about you. And that really frustrates me sometimes, because I just feel like people are not the nicest to nurses. And I'm not saying all my patients are rude or anything. I've definitely had some amazing patients, and I've had some very rude patients before. I have had both ends of the spectrum. But I feel like that's probably something that I don't love about just taking care of adults in general, not just postpartum patients. So I think that's why I feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm with babies, because I know that babies don't hate you or like complain about you or like have something that they don't like about you all the time. So yeah, that's why I prefer the baby side more. And I just think kids are a little bit nicer sometimes. Question number 11 is, how do you deal with older nurses bullying new nurses? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, we don't really experience this a whole lot at my hospital, because pretty much like I felt very supported as a new nurse, so I don't feel like I ever felt like very bullied. I do think that like you always have that moment where and older nurses will make like a comment or something that you don't necessarily love, and I'm not saying that my experience was like perfect or anything like that. So something that I learned to deal with is just remember that like mean people are mean people, and it has nothing to do with you. You're more than capable of learning, and it's okay to not know everything. When you ask an older nurse a question and they meet you with some kind of rude resistance, they're just a rude person and it has nothing to do with you. So ask your question. If they don't want to answer it, then ask someone else. And I've just kind of learned to tune people out, that I don't necessarily care, because if I don't really have a lot of respect for how rude they are, then I shouldn't care what they have to say about me. But thankfully my nursing area has been very supportive and kind in general, so yeah, thankful for that. Question number 12, day shift or night shift? Night shift all the way. I touched on it earlier, but I just feel better on night shift. Recently have been asked a couple times if I would be willing to go to day shift, and the answer was no. Take me off that day shift list. I will not be going to day shift. And yeah, I like the money, I like the vibes, I really like the money, and I'm 25 years old right now, so I may as well take advantage of the money. Question number 13 is, how do you sleep on night shifts? The first day I actually have started to sleep a lot earlier than I used to. I used to sleep around like 1 or 12. Now I will take sleeping medication at like 10 and fall asleep by 11. It mostly works for me as long as I get like a good night's rest the day before and I wake up at least before 8. If I wake up really early, then I wake up really early, but at least before 8. I'll try to get some stuff done for like 2 hours, and I'm usually able to sleep if I just like knock out on some Benadryl. Sometimes I don't fall asleep till closer to like 12. And that's fine too, because if I sleep from 12 to 5, that's already 5 hours of extra sleep, and I feel like I can function off of 5 hours. I do try to sleep as much as possible though. I never want to be that night shift nurse that like everyone says is gonna die young because they don't sleep. So I do get a lot of sleep. In between my shifts, I sleep from 9 to 5 as best as I can, and usually I'm able to do that. And then on my last day, I'll sleep from like 9 to like 3 p.m., which is still 6 hours. I feel like a lot of times people who work normal jobs don't even get that much sleep, so that's how I sleep. Question 14, do you feel like your nursing program prepared you for your career? Yes, I absolutely do. I feel like everybody posted like on TikTok and stuff that they were not prepared for their nursing job, and that nursing school is just school and you learn everything on your job. I kind of disagree with that. I learned a lot of stuff on my job, like logistics wise, on like how my personal hospital like does their flow of things, like where their binders and care plans and cardexes and how they like to manage their stuff. But I mean, you learn how to do like skills in nursing school. You may not be perfect at doing those skills, but you learn a lot of those skills, and you learn kind of like the tricks and the hacks and whatever when you become a nurse, and like how to do things faster. But I feel like I was prepared. I feel like I'm grateful for my school and my education, and I feel like I knew what I needed to know medically for the most part. And then I like obviously got way deeper as I specialized and as I became specifically a mother-baby nurse. But yeah, I never felt like I knew nothing at all. So I don't know, I felt prepared. Question number 15, it's what's coming up for you. So today's July 1st that I'm filming this video. I'm gonna edit it and post it for next week. But I guess I'll let you know what's going on this month. So Friday is when Speak Now Taylor's version comes out, so I'm really excited about that. I'm working 4th of July, so super excited to get that time and a half because I personally don't really care that much for 4th of July. I have my bachelorette party at the end of this month, which I'm really excited for. I think I'm gonna vlog it, I think. Let me know if y'all would want to see it, because I feel like my wedding videos don't get very many views, but if you guys want to see it, I'll post it. I don't have a whole lot going on outside of like wedding stuff. So like my bachelorette party, I have a bridal shower in August and a bridal shower in September. So I just have like a lot of wedding stuff going on, and then October is literally our wedding. So like every single month there is a wedding event going on of some sort. I'm trying to get a lot of loose ends tied for the wedding, and like get a lot of our little things like decor, signage, all that stuff. After this video is filmed, I'm actually gonna go on to wedding planning before I ever edit this video, because I have a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, that's kind of what's coming up for me, is like getting married, and we're also finalizing the stuff for our honeymoon, which we're going on immediately after our wedding. And I really want to vlog the honeymoon. I think I want to, not sure yet. Maybe I'll do like Instagram stories instead of a vlog, just to give myself some peaceful time. I don't know, but yeah, that's basically what we have going on. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked this little update. Thank you so much for following me on this journey of 1 year as a nurse. I know a lot of y'all kind of dwindled off after I graduated nursing school, which is fine, but those of you who stayed are real ones, so thank you so much for being here. If you watched this whole video, please comment some unicorn emojis down below. I know these aren't all like unicorns, they're ponies, but we're gonna go with some unicorns for now. Be sure to use my code for $35 off. I have it right here, and the link is in my description to check out the oodie. I personally love it, 10 out of 10, so all of you should get yourself one and let me know your favorite pattern. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. It helps me out so much, y'all. And I'm getting kind of close to 3,000, and it's been like a long time since I've hit a big milestone. So help me hit this next milestone by subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!